There's a moment when you're working on an old house when you realize you're not just repairing something, you're not just fixing a problem or replacing a part. You're participating in a story that started long before you ever arrived. And that's when a window stops being just a window. This house has stood on this island for generations. It's sheltered family through hurricanes, through summers that felt endless, through winters that came and went without much fuss. Its floors have carried the weight of laughter, arguments, celebrations, heartbreaks, and quiet mornings when the world felt still. Its walls have absorbed the voices of people who are long gone but somehow are still present. A house like this gives you something. It gives you a sense of continuity, a sense of belonging, a sense that you're a part of a lineage of ordinary lives that really mattered. So when the time comes to replace its windows, you don't just rip out the old ones and toss in something shiny and mass-produced. You don't erase the craftsmanship of the people who built this place with their hands, with pride. You don't silence the history that's been looking out through those panes for 100 years. This house deserves better than that. It deserves windows made with the sense of care that went into the originals, windows that were shaped slowly, intentionally by hand, windows that honor the past while protecting the future. And so the work begins, not in a factory, not in a warehouse, but in a workshop on the property itself. A workshop that smells of mahogany, sawdust, and salt air. A workshop where the light falls just right in the late afternoon, catching the edges of the tools and the curls of wood shavings on the floor. The wood comes from an old mahogany shade tree that once stood proudly in the yard, a tree that held clotheslines heavy with sun-dried laundry, a tree that held a child's swing, swaying gently in the island breezes, a tree that watched over birthdays, barbecues, scraped knees, and quiet conversations at dusk. When that tree finally came down, it didn't disappear, it waited. It waited for this moment to become part of the house that it had shaded for so long. And now in this workshop, the grain is revealed again, its strength, its warmth, its memory. Every cut, every joint, every pass to the plane is a way of saying, you still belong here. These new windows will look like the old ones, divided light, wood frames, a kind of craftsmanship that feels timeless. But inside them they'll hold something the original builders could have never imagined. Impact-rated glass, strong enough to stand against the hurricanes that sweep across this island. Because honoring history doesn't mean ignoring reality. This house deserves protection. It deserves to stand for another 100 years. It deserves to keep its people safe. So the old ones and the new ones meet here, in these handmade frames, in this wood that grew on this property, in this workshop filled with the echoes of the past and the hum of the present. And when the windows are finally set into place, the house will breathe a little easier. It will feel cared for, respected, understood. There's a certain kind of peace that settles in when you step into the workshop. A peace that doesn't come from silence, but from the familiar music of work. The low hum of a planer, the rasp of sandpaper, the steady heartbeat of a mallet tapping a joint into place. It's the sound of being fully present. This shop becomes its own small world, a place where time stretches and slows, where the light through the open garage door shifts across the benches as the day moves on, where the smell of mahogany, warm, sweet, a little earthy, rises every time the blade meets the grain, and in those moments you remember why hand-making things matters. There's a joy in shaping something real and watching a rough board become a clean edge, a perfect angle, a frame that fits just right. There's a joy in the repetition, the kind that doesn't feel like monotony, but like meditation. Each pass of the plane is a breath. Each cut is a decision. Each joint is a promise that you're doing this the right way. And there's something grounding about working in a shop on the same land where the house stands, the same land where the old mahogany tree grew once, the same land where generations lived their ordinary, extraordinary lives, and it feels like the work belongs here, like you belong here. Some days the progress is slow, stubborn knot in the wood, a measurement that needs to be redone, a moment when you stop, step back, and rethink the next move. But even that's part of the pleasure, the puzzle of it, the patience of it, the quiet satisfaction of getting it right instead of getting it done fast. And then there are the small victories, a mortise that fits perfectly, a little detail that catches the light just right, a frame that feels solid in your hands even before the glass is set. And there are moments that remind you, again, why craftsmanship endures. Working here in this shop with this wood for this house, it feels like a conversation across time. The original builders left their marks in the old joinery. You can see it as you take the house apart and rebuild it. In the tool scars hidden beneath layers of paint. And now I'm leaving mine. Not to replace theirs, but to stand beside them. And as each window comes together, piece by piece, hour by hour, day by day, I feel a kind of gratitude for the tree and its strength, gratitude for the house that deserves this care, gratitude for the chance to slow down and make something that will last. Because the truth is, I don't just enjoy this process, I need it. It reminds me of who I am when the world gets loud. And when the last shavings are swept aside and the frame is ready for the glass, you feel it. It quiet pride that comes from making something honest, something useful, something beautiful, something worthy of the house that will hold it. And so as the sun rises on this island cottage and the light finds its way through the windows once again, the house stands a little taller, not because it's been modernized, but because it's been honored. These windows aren't replacements, they're continuations of a tree that once shaded the yard, of the hands that built this place, of the lives that shaped it. And when the next storm comes, this house will meet it with strength. When the next sunrise arrives, it will greet it with clarity. Because in the end, this wasn't just about making windows. It was about giving something back to a home that has given so much to the people that have lived in it. Because a window isn't just a window, not in a house like this, not when you know its story, not when you become part of a house that has given so much. Existing friends of this channel will notice a departure in style from many of my previous videos, which are more of a how-to style narrative. Please take a few minutes of your time to leave a comment as to whether you prefer that style or if you like this storytelling style. And in particular, if you'd like a how-to video on the making of these windows, I have plenty of footage describing how the windows were made and how you can make them yourselves. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that video. If there's enough demand for it, I will put that together and release it. So from here, dear viewers, I will step back and let you watch uninterrupted as the windows take shape in this old workshop. Whew, it is hot. If you've made it this far in the video, folks, I truly thank you. It is very hot in the shop. I'm just getting a couple of coats of paint on here before we get the hinges on, get the lock in place, and get these installed. I'm 2 days away from heading up north to the Key West Makers North shop, and I've got to get these windows installed. So the next shots you'll see are these installed in the dormers. Speaking of the Key West Makers North shop, you may recall that we are in the middle of a new shop build out up there, so make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and you'll see those videos shortly. And here they are. The windows are completely finished and installed. There's a little overhang here, a latch that closes and locks the windows. Hope you enjoyed the video, folks. This is Chris Schmidt signing out from Key West.